today we're going to continue studying Spanish vocabulary. We're going to expand on the vocabulary that you already have, which is numbers and months, and we're going to take a look at some other words and phrases. So I'm going to go over the new vocabulary. You see it up here on my screen. This is also posted underneath files, and I take that back. You can also probably find it, I'm going to put it underneath the module too. So you'll find it in the Spanish e-learning module, and I think you can still find it in files. I will also link to it underneath this assignment. I would like for you guys to follow along as I go over these words in Spanish. If you notice in the middle column, there is a pronunciation guide again. This is like what was in parentheses on your other list, and this is just to help you to say these words correctly. So you see the Spanish on the left, the pronunciation guide in the middle, and then the English on the right. All right, please follow along as I say these words in Spanish. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, hola, adiós, chao, hasta luego, mucho gusto, igualmente. ¿Cómo se llama usted? Me llamo. ¿De dónde es usted? Soy de. ¿Cómo está usted? Estoy fantástico, muy bien, más o menos, muy mal, enojado, cansado, enfermo. ¿Cuántos años tiene usted? Tengo años. ¿Cuándo es su cumpleaños? Mi cumpleaños es el de. ¿Y usted? Yo también. Lo siento. All right, clase, a few things that I want to go over. Let's see here. Okay, if you notice in bold, your questions are in bold. So for example, the first one you see is ¿Cómo se llama usted? That means what's your name? Okay, your answer to that, you would answer that question using the phrase underneath. So you would say me llamo and then your name. One thing I want to point out is that two L's in Spanish do not make an L sound. They make a Y sound. So it is me llamo, not me llamo. All right, our next question, where are you from? ¿De dónde es usted? Where are you from? And you'll find the answer to that right underneath, soy de. So if you're from Kansas City, you would say soy de Kansas City. I'm from St. Joseph, so I would say soy de St. Joe. All right, our third question is how are you? And that question is ¿Cómo está usted? Now, this is a two-part answer. You're going to start your answer off with the word for I am, which is estoy. So you would say estoy, and then choose one of these emotions listed down below. Now, I want to give you a side note on this. If you notice, there are four of them that have an A in parentheses at the end. So they are fantástico, enojado, cansado, and enfermo. That is there for a reason. You may or may not be familiar with this, but Spanish has something called masculine and feminine. And you will also see this in French. So if you are a boy, you would say that you are fantástico. But if you are a girl, it changes to fantástica. So boys, you will use the O on the end. Girls, you use the A. Now, the one underneath of fantástico is muy bien. If you notice, there's no A after it. That one stays the same for everyone. Okay, so if I were to say that I was fantastic, I would say estoy fantástica since I'm a girl. But if you're a boy, you would say estoy fantástico. And that is the same for these three here at the end, for enojado, cansado, and enfermo. All right? Okay, our next question. ¿Cuántos años tiene usted? How old are you? Now, you have this phrase underneath that you're going to use to answer. Tengo blank años. Now, that blank is where you insert the number in Spanish for however old you are. So, for example, if you are 12, you would say tengo, and then the number for 12 is 12, and then años. Okay, so I am 12 years old would be tengo 12 años, because 12 is 12 in Spanish. Our last question is ¿Cuándo es su cumpleaños? Now, this is where you are going to use the months in Spanish. This is the phrase you're going to use. This first blank right here is where you write out the number in Spanish for the day that you are born on. Okay, so for example, I was born on the 27th, so right here is where I would put 27. Then you have the word day, and then the month. I was born in January, so the last word in my sentence would be enero. So, if I can get this to let me type, I think I can. Maybe. It's really small, so I will see if I can change that. I'm not going to make any promises. How about, okay, bear with me just a second because I really want you to see this. All right, so class A. All right, so if I want to say my birthday in Spanish, I am going to write it out as mi cumpleaños es el 27 de enero. That means my birthday is the 27th of January. That is just how you state your birthday in Spanish. The number comes first, and then the month comes last. So if my birthday is I don't even know what today's date is, the 17th of April, I would say mi cumpleaños es el 17 de abril. Okay? Again, side note, in Spanish, don't forget the months are not capitalized. Okay? So that's how you say your birthday in Spanish. Now, that's all of our questions. So that's all of our words and phrases. These are the last little bit that we're going to be working on in Spanish. We're going to spend next week in Spanish as well. On Tuesday, you guys are going to spend some time in Quizlet, and then on Wednesday, you're going to look at some conversations in Spanish, and Thursday, and then Friday, I think we're probably going to be using Chatterpix to submit an assignment in Spanish to wrap up Spanish. And then the week after that, we will begin French. For today's activity, I would like for you to do the same thing as you did on Tuesday. If you guys remember, on Tuesday, you took a video of yourself saying the numbers and months in Spanish. I would like for you to do the same thing today. So you're going to read through this list in Spanish and record yourself doing so. You can either, one, record yourself in the Canvas, within Canvas. When you go to submit the assignment, you click on it and they'll have the option to record it right there. Or if you would rather record it in another app on your iPad, that's fine too. And then you can upload that for your assignment. So I will link to your assignment on the bottom of this post. As always, if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and have a great weekend.